here's the latest function I've talked to Unitronics about. If you wanted to take your values from the micro SD and automatically copy them onto a USB, that's this CSV to DOK function, and it was found over here in the tree and file operations, copy or remove SD to a DOK. So when you drag this block over, looks like this, and you hover over the different tags, it's going to tell you what to put in there, and it's real specific. You have to have the tags just right, obviously. So in the first one, you can hover out over it, it's going to see copy SD to DOK. There's other functions you can put in there, and here you have to set up tags, and then you put the value in it you want. So it kind of gives you a hint of what you would want to have in there. Samples or anything. XXX is a wildcard, and history, or in this case, I'm going to pull from wherever I have in my tag SD location for samples. So we'll probably show you down here. So SD location, sample / PID / history, and then a slash at the end as well. And then hover over the next tag, SD file name. What's the file name on the SD we want to copy? So I made a tag, call it CSV samples, and it's tss.csv. So that came from the data sampler. We were able to name the data sampler over here what we wanted the files to be called. So when we created this data sampler 1, it created a struct right here, data sampler 1, and in there, if I open that up, it asks us right here, what do we want to name the files that are in the data sampler? TSS. So that's where I came up with the TSS over here, .csv. And this is the DOK folder path, TS samples. Let's see, get back out of this, the global. So I named that one. TS samples is the tag name. This will just be the folder copied to DOK, and put the slash on the end. And I'm naming them the same thing as they were already named here. So I use the tag again, CSV tag again. And this controls whether it overrides it or not. And then these errors are handy if you have a fault. If you're online and you run this this tag that's going to close this CSV to DOK, it'll come up with different errors. So it will guide you through where you have something wrong in your tag text, which I did. So it's a pretty handy tool. So you have to do in the program in here, I think, I'll show you this. So a couple things have to happen. We have to have a bit for create CSV. That's just what we're looking at, or the CSV file. There's actually another block for that. That has to be going all the time. And then in the PID example, anytime the PID loop was running, it would start in the data sampler for us. So it'll be running, create CSV will be running, and when the sample, the PID ends, that's when it actually writes the CSV. Then we'll come back over here and hit CSV to DOK, and it's taking it and converting it over. So let's see if I can back that up. Maybe leave it where you can see what's going on. So if I back up to this, I've already run the auto tune. If this PID is running, it's trying to get to this set point. You see the PID is running, turning it on and off the contact. I'm trying to get a few. This create CSV bit is already set, and you can have that. You can leave that set with a power bit of 1. I just have it in here because I wanted to see it, but that can just be set to 1 all the time. It'll always create a CSV anytime it's creating the data sampler. So you can see we have a few points done, and I'm going to go back here, and when I stop, it, then I'm able to, it does create the data sampler and the CSV file. So it's created those, but if I hit CSV to DOK, it should have sent the files over to this USB in the back to this guy. And I took everything off of it to make sure that what I'm seeing is current. So if I put that in, so I mentioned the create CSV tag, and that comes from the. Let's look back over here to show you. I believe it's under the data sampler struct. So here's the data sampler struct, and if we open it up, there is a create CSV bit. So if this is just always set as a power up of 1, so if I had 1 in here when I save the program, it always power up on the bit it was on. And in this example, I didn't do that. I just made a tag, so I could just a button that I could turn it on or off with over here, just to be able to do that. So it would be this one. So in here, in this, I named it create CSV, and for actions, toggle the bit, and it drilled down to that struct that had data sampler 1 create data sample bit, the bit we just looked at, so it would toggle it on or off. So you could have that. You wouldn't have to have that selectable. You could just have it on all the time. So I have this online, and I want to see if there's errors when I press the tag. I'm going to press this DOK tag. So it's telling me there's an error. Thought I was rid of that at -3. If I hover over here, it's going to tell us that invalid DOK folder path. So it's looking to copy it to copy DOK. It's telling me the path's invalid. So possibly I might have deleted that path a minute ago. Copy to DOK. So here's the DOK is popped up, and sure enough, I don't have a file. I don't have a folder there. Got deleted this. So it's just a new folder. Copied. Okay, it has to be exactly the same. So I'll make sure I did that. Copied to DOK is caps. Copied to DOK is caps. So that should be good. So now let's put this back in. We'll see if they are away. Deleted the folder a second ago. I'm not deleting the data out of it, but I deleted the folder now. If I press it, you can see that the error has gone away that I have, and there's just a 2 in there. From a 0 to a 2. Look at the code. 0 is no error, and 2 is function in progress. So it's not erroring out now, so that's a good thing. So let's look back here. This time should be able to see. Here's the folder I just made, and there looks like there's data in it. This will drill down into it, and there's the file I was trying to get in there. So there it worked. Here's the last piece of the test. Here's the USB I pulled out of the Unitronics device, and I'm going to put it in here. It auto detected it. I heard it pop up. So here it is, and there's the copy to DOK folder, and inside there is a CSV file, and hopefully there's values in it. Be the last test. Yep, there are values. So here's the final product, the CSV file coming out.